The main gate was a mob scene. Traffic was backed up both ways, and civilian workers, most of them Japanese, crowded around every vehicle that came through, demanding rides and blocking the road. Everybody back! The sergeant bellowed. Clear the gate! Back, back! He formed the squad into a line, and with rifles raised, they began pressing the crowd away from the gate. People gave ground, but they were angry. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? They shouted. We're not the enemy. Where are the buses? Bombs are falling on Honolulu. We need to get home. Once the gate was cleared, vehicles began to move again, and the sergeant took Rinaldi and a couple other men to unload machine guns from a truck. They left an old guy, Tom, a supply sergeant, in charge. Boys, spread out a little, Tom said. You heard the sarge. We got to keep an eye on these people. Adam took a position along the edge of the road, rifle at ready. From the moment he had heard about the Japanese paratroopers on the punch bowl, Adam knew he had to get home. Every few minutes, he took a few more steps away from the gate. With every step, he asked himself if he was right to leave. What would his father say? You're deserting your post. And what about Rinaldi and the sergeant? He kept taking steps. He knew it wasn't wrong to worry about his mother and sister. But was he just making excuses for himself? He kept looking back, but nobody was watching him, and he moved further and farther away from the gate. Beside him, a truck was rolling slowly along. You going to Honolulu? Adam called through the open window. The driver was Japanese. He could almost have been Davy's older brother. He had that same sleepy look. Honolulu? Yeah, the driver said. The cab and the back of the truck were packed with people. Hop on, sailor. I could use an armed guard. I don't know what I'm going to find up ahead. Adam was up and in the back of the truck in a second. It was a piece of luck. The civilians made room for him. What ship you on, sailor? A woman asked. She was wearing dungarees, a shirt, and a bright kerchief tied under her chin. Adam hesitated for a moment. The Westie, he said. One man, he was no taller than Adam, kept looking at the gun, then at Adam, with a kind of considering look, as if he knew Adam was only a make-believe sailor. Adam frowned and turned away, as if he had more important business. The highway was jammed with vehicles, and they stopped a lot. Every time the traffic started moving again, the people in the back yelled at the driver to go. Go, go, move! And each time the driver stuck his hand out the window and waved and said, Hold your horses, people! Hey, sailor, he said to Adam. They were stopped again. Stand in the front by the cab. You see a Jap plane, bang on the top. I'm watching, Adam said, and his eyes on the horizon. Guarding the truck was important too. He watched the sky. If an enemy plane appeared, he would bang as hard as he could on the cab. He would alert everybody. He would save them. It was close to the middle of the day, and the sky was like a hot blue plate. Birds darted through the trees, set his heart pumping. One minute he was leaning against the top of the cab watching birds, and the next a Japanese fighter plane, a Zero that seemed bigger than the whole sky, was on top of them. Adam banged on the cab. People tumbled off the truck, and then he had a gun to his shoulder. How that happened, how he got to the top of the cab, he didn't remember. But he was there, shooting as fast as he could, one clip after another. The empty shells bounced off the cab. He was excited, so excited he was trembling. It was the smell of the gunpowder and the way the rifle recoiled into his shoulder. He kept shooting, even after the plane had disappeared. Hey! The driver was looking at him. What are you doing up there? People were coming out of the ditches. It's gone, the driver said. Get down. Adam slid off the cab, jumped down to the road. His head was on fire, and his heart too. He walked along the side of the road with the gun raised, at the ready. They passed a car with all the windows shut out, and once there was gunfire ahead. He put the gun to his shoulder several times, but there were no more planes. For a while, he and the truck kept pace, but then the truck got ahead of him. Come on, the driver called, sticking his head out the window. Come on and hop on. Adam waved and kept walking. He was too keyed up to get back in the truck.